Your music is either an asset or a liability. An asset makes you money, but a liability, well, that costs you money. Now, I want your music to be an asset, and over a period of time, I want that asset to be able to bring you in money, some return on investment, some ROI. But at the beginning, when you're funding your music yourself, it can get quite expensive. So today we are going to look at 10 money-saving secrets when releasing music. Number 1, the aggregator. Now at the moment, you can't upload your music straight to Spotify like you can on YouTube, which means you need a third party, a distributor or an aggregator. Now, the thing with these aggregators is they do slightly different jobs and they cost different amounts of money. So you can pay up to $50 to get your music on Spotify, or you can pay $20 to get your music on Spotify. Now, when you pay $50, you do get more. You get more stats in the back end. Sometimes they have different products or different things that they will offer. But at this moment in time, if we're looking at money-saving tips, well, the aggregators will still get your music on Spotify as well as TikTok and Instagram and all of the other platforms. So at this point, if you're looking to save money, an aggregator is one place that you can do that. Now, it's up to you to decide what you want to get from an aggregator, but if this is just about getting your music out there as cheap as possible, then you should look into Ditto or DistroKid or Amuse as the cheaper end of the spectrum, as opposed to, say, CD Baby or TuneCore, which are more expensive. Or number 2, what if you don't want to spend any money at all on getting your music out there? Well, you can do that. It might mean that you're not going through Spotify and going through SoundCloud or Bandcamp or YouTube, but these are still legitimate ways to get your music heard. Did you know that SoundCloud have 175 million monthly listeners? And artists like Billie Eilish, Post Malone, Chance the Rapper, these are artists who got discovered directly from posting their music on SoundCloud. The thing is, as an artist, you have this idea that Spotify makes your music legit. But that isn't true. Your music is legit wherever you put it. Whether that's Bandcamp, YouTube, TikTok, SoundCloud, it doesn't matter. What makes it legit is the music and the fact that you can build your audience. And that's the key, building your audience, so once you've done that, you can build into Spotify. Building your audience in Spotify from the start isn't a smart thing to do. Getting Spotify numbers is great for the ego, but we have to be able to retarget this audience, so they need to be housed somewhere. Number 3, mixing and mastering is a luxury. Wait. Listen, that is the sound of an angry mob.
Max, look, those idiots don't even know where we live.
I know, right? Mixing and mastering can make a huge difference to the quality of your song. Absolutely. But so can the money it costs to get a professional mix and a professional master. And this is about priorities. This is about building an army. And with that army, from that point, over a period of time, we build return of investment. Now, what I don't want you to do is I don't want you to spend all of your money on recording, mixing, and mastering and getting to the point where you're frustrated because your music isn't heard. To put this into perspective, at the moment, we are getting new followers on TikTok for 2 cents. That means for every dollar you put in, you're getting 50 new followers. Now, I understand that is not a fan. That is a follower, but these are real people. These are not bots. These are people who say, I like you, I'm interested, tell me more, and we'll come with you on that journey, and it's up to you to turn them from follower into fan. But potentially for $1, you get 50 new fans, which means for the cost of new mixing and new mastering, $200, $300, $400, $1,000, you could get thousands of new followers who are interested in what you do. This is about prioritization. Number 4, pre-production is cheaper than recording, which means every hour you are in the rehearsal room in pre-production, you are saving that money from being in a recording studio. And hours are wasted in recording studios with decisions that should have been made in the rehearsal room. It is much better to spend 20 extra hours in the rehearsal room rather than 10 to 20 extra hours in the recording studio. So things like tempos, parts, instruments, what gear you're going to use, how you're going to get that tight, all of that is in pre-production before you spend time, effort, energy, and money in the recording studio. Number 5, the new trend of A&Ring yourself before you actually release a song. Imagine if you knew which songs were going to work. Imagine if when you wrote 10 songs, you could pick the one that was the winner. Well, now you can, because that's what social media has evolved into. All of a sudden, not only are we building the audiences, but we can bounce off them. I've got this new idea, and if the numbers look good, you think, maybe I'll promote this a little bit and see if it works. I haven't even recorded it yet, but if the audience likes it, I'll record it. If they don't, I'll move on to the next one. This is going to save hundreds of hours and thousands of dollars when it comes to pre-production, mixing, mastering, recording, and every other part of promotion, knowing that you're onto a winner from the start. Number 6, studio downtime. Every single studio has overheads, has expenses, which means they've got to pay for the lighting, they've got to pay for the electricity, they've also got to pay for people to man it, they've got to pay for the mortgage or the rent. All of these things add up, and they want that studio to be used at all times. Anytime that studio is sat there dormant is wasting money. Now, if you can tap into that and find those times, there's a good chance that you can use that leverage and do some kind of negotiation. What if you're prepared to record during the night shift, midnight till 5 a.m., or with a trainee engineer or a trainee producer? Now, you might not get the perfect results, but you are going to get good results and you are going to save off the bottom line. Same thing when it comes to the times of the week versus the times of the year. For example, summer holidays is usually a disaster. Everyone's free and everyone wants to get into the recording studio. Therefore, there's no time. What about Christmas? That dodgy time in between Christmas and New Year when nobody wants to get into the studio and the studio engineer or whoever owns the studio is still thinking to themselves, still got the bills to pay, maybe you can get in and do a deal. Number 7, go where the attention is. Now, right now, consumption habit is focused on 15 to 30 second micro video, because that is what people are consuming the most of. And if you go against that, you are going to find it harder to bring in new people. You're going to find it harder to bring them value, and you'll find it harder to get that organic reach. Now, when it comes to saving money, the best thing you can do is save time, because the more time you've got, the easier it is to spend that time on the right things, promoting your music, getting it heard, making sure that the message is out there. And so with that audience, the bigger the audience, the easier it is to push them across to Spotify. And the easiest way of building an audience right now is micro video on Reels, TikTok, and YouTube Shorts. Number 8, involving your audience. I am perplexed why more artists don't do this. You have an audience who loves you. You have an audience that wants to be involved, and you probably have a few people within that audience who are specialists that would want to help. Photographers, videographers, graphic designers, someone who can design a good banner. All of these things are skills that you can utilize and will probably do you a favor because they love you and they love your music. The problem here is what we tend to do is we tend to say, wait for my music, wait, and now you can have it, now leave me alone. And that isn't the right message. What we should be saying is, this is a community. No way, you're a videographer, I'd love to get your spin on this. No way, you've got a decent audience on TikTok dancing, I'd love to send you the track and see if you can do a dance to my track. We should be involving your audience as much as possible. This is not you against the world. This is you building a community and utilizing and using that community to spread the word about you and your music. Number 9, a song doesn't die. It simply stops getting managed. Now, if we want to save money, one of the things that we can do is we can prolong that release strategy. So instead of releasing a new song every day or every week or every month, we can say, no, I don't need to. I can release a song and I can promote it for 3 months, as long as I have got a creative strategy that will work for me promoting that piece of music for 3 months. As long as I can bring value to people with my music and with my release for 3 months. This is called exhausting the creative, and sadly most artists will give up on their release after 24 hours. They'll have a big release day and say, everyone listen to my music, then they go to bed, then they wake up and they go, oh, what shall I do next? I'm not really sure. I guess I'll get started on the next song. Which means more effort, more energy, more time, and more importantly, a lot more money. However, now's the time that you can promote your music for free every single day without spamming people. All we've got to do is think about you, your song, and what you're going to do with it. For example, you performing your song in a certain place, you talking about your song in front of a certain person, you collabing with a song. It's basically saying, where can I put this song? What can I do to make this song relevant today? And the content is free because you're only dealing with 10, 15, 20 seconds worth of the song, just a little bit of excitement every single day in a new context way. Now, there is no excuses. When it comes to the likes of Reels or TikTok, it means you can take micro pieces of your song, find creative ways to push it in front of your audience, and because of this fight between TikTok and Instagram, there's also a good chance that people outside of your audience will start to see it. And number 10, learn to write a good press release. Hell, learn to communicate with people in general. You would not believe how many people on a daily basis message me on Instagram in the DMs and they just say, listen to my music. That's it. That's your press release. This is your chance of getting someone to listen to your music. This is your chance to get an opportunity. And let's face it, there are a lot of opportunities. I don't buy into this. It's very difficult to get your music out there. It's a lot of noise, I grant you that. But when it comes to blogs or podcasts or vlogs or interviews or radio, there's millions of opportunities for every single genre. The problem is people are lazy when it comes to pushing their music, and saying to someone, listen to my music, is not going to work because the person on the other side will say, I don't know who you are. What's in it for me? There's no relationship. That is where a good press release comes in. This is a chance to write something which creates excitement, where you can attach pictures or videos or your story or the emotion around what you've written and why you have written it. This is an opportunity to speak to someone who will like your music and then help you promote yourself. Whilst most artists are very good at communicating through their music, they aren't that good at communicating on a one-to-one basis. But if you can do that, you will cut through the noise so quickly, because communicating your why instead of your what is so hugely powerful. So when it comes to releasing music, it doesn't have to be expensive. This isn't about driving people to Spotify. This is about creating an army. And once you can do that, there are now more and more ways coming about for you to be able to get that return of investment. We are going forward into a time where NFTs are a thing, and that will open up a whole new game of monetization, as well as what we've already got. So what you need to do is you need to use your music as an asset to build an audience. And once you can do that, there are plenty of ways of monetizing. And if you're thinking to yourself, well, this sounds great, but I'm just not sure where to start, well, that's what DK Music Business Academy is all about. It's got so many courses and strategies in how to get your music heard from myself and loads of other like-minded, amazing creatives and specialists. It's got live sessions, it's got an incredible community, and on top of that, Sonar is a database of curators that you can get in touch with your music. It's a total no-brainer. Anyway, guys, thank you so much for watching. Hit that like, hit that subscribe button. I'll see you next week.